Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday. Welcome back to Recall Knowledge Presents Outlaws of Alkenstar, a show where Pathfinder enthusiasts play through your favorite adventure paths. I'm your GM, Steve, and I'm joined by Ricardo, Richard, Ninna, and Tommy. Go ahead, everyone, and say, howdy, Outlaws.
Howdy!
Howdy, Outlaws.
Hello, Verbeaten.
Ooh, look at that. Hollowed RPG with subscriber. I thought chicken goes bok bok. I don't know that I get what the reference. That's 24 months, though. That's 24 months reset. That's 2 years. So that's awesome. I don't know who Hollowed RPG could possibly be.
Yeah, who knows?
Thank you. Everyone out there who's joining us for the first time, unlike Hollowed RPG, welcome. And everyone who's coming back with possibly a 2-year streak, we're happy you're with us again. We missed you. We took last week off with some last minute reshuffling of schedules, but we're here tonight. Tech issues be damned, and we're gonna play some Outlaws of Alkenstar. Yeah, did everyone have a happy 4th? Nobody blew off any fingers. We were doing a digit count. Oh,
Somehow everything is still attached. Worst 4th of July ever.
I would imagine one of you guys could have just done like a little mini Pyro Night mock-up and try to light it. Basically just like...
Just shows up at the barbecue with literal dynamite. Hey guys, look at this!
I was at this kickback and then our host bought this huge firework. I thought that I was back in the army again when it started popping. I literally started, I was like, fuck this.
Peaced out, huh? That doesn't sound like a very big kickback then. That sounds like stress-inducing panic for you, Ninna.
It was fun. I was excited for it. And then it happened.
And then the PTSD.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, it's been years. I didn't know it was still there.
We did a grand finale and we had a firework up on the ladder, and it was one of the California legal, safe and sane ones, you know, like not really anything that can surprise you. But then it did surprise me because at the end, it like shot sideways out of it. So like in all 4 cardinal directions, it just started spewing like sparks. And because we had it on the ladder, it looked really cool. So that was the first time I'd been surprised by a firework in a long time.
Ooh.
That cool way. But I was like, oh, wow, that was actually really awesome. So speaking of things exploding, it's time to get started on tonight's episode. But before we get going, before we get into Anita rolling 2 natural ones in a row, we need to do a bit of housekeeping. So once again, as usual, tonight's episode is sponsored by longtime friends of the show. It's Molten Hosting.
Woo, they're so hot.
They're so hot.
Always so hot.
To catch you up, we are in the middle of our Molten Hosting sponsored, overly dramatic retelling of the bits of the smoking gun that happened off screen during our time skip. And by sponsored, I mean ignoring the requests from Molten Hosting lawyers to please don't do another rendition. When we last left off, our outlaws found themselves hijacking a stagecoach to raid a secret shield marshal base deep beneath Alkenstar. That led them to learn that Angelique Lovelace is making enough weapons to outfit an entire army. And they are now following her to the gunworks to take a closer look at what's happening. So without further ado, let's get on with this week's Molten Recap. Our outlaws find themselves at the infamous gunworks, the heart of all firearm production here in Alkenstar. The actual methods themselves are a closely guarded secret, known only to a few key individuals. Nearly all firearms in this region comes from the dwarven smiths within. And on top, the largest cannon you've ever seen, the Maw of Rovagug, Alkenstar's ultimate defense against the mutant raiders.
I wonder if there's a way we could mount that thing to Iba.
I don't know, Annie. I feel like you'd probably think of something even better to put on Wybert. Get your name on the map.
I've heard tales of its beauty, but seeing it in person is almost enough to put a tear in my eye. I wish we'd get a chance to fire it.
The maw is not a toy, Hal. Besides, after the last time it got stolen, they put it in a much harder to reach place. I doubt they'll let us on the roof.
I don't know, Tusks. I think we'd probably come up with a few ways to sneak up and have at it. For science, of course.
I'm always down for science.
We need to stay focused. Look, there's a saloon up ahead we can ask around. Maybe somebody's seen something?
The last stop saloon. Careful. This is a hotbed for shield marshals traveling from the city out here for training. We ask the wrong person, we may be in over our heads.
Might just be the opportunity we need. Crack a little shield marshal's skulls in and find out where Lovelace is. Win-win if you ask me.
I think we might have a slightly bigger problem on our hands.
Ahead in the saloon, drinking with a table full of shield marshals, is a large orcish man. His neck and face are, where visible, are covered in tribal tattoos. His arms bulge with thick muscles beneath his too tight standard issue shield marshal uniform. Finishes his ale, slamming the cup down on the table with a grin as he sees our outlaws wander in.
Now, this isn't the mighty Gimthrak in the flesh. I've been wondering when I'd get the pleasure.
Old Drock, they always said you had 9 lives. Oh yeah. How many you been through by now? Surely you must be running low on spares.
I've been searching for you for almost a year, and to find you disgracing another uniform. Gimthrak, I place you under arrest for crimes against Madakali.
You have no authority here. This badge makes me the law. In fact, given how things were left back home, you have no authority there either. Oh yeah! Little Saruk, always trying to do the right thing. How's that working out for you these days?
You may be surprised to learn just how much I've changed.
Now, boys, look around you. There's about a dozen shield marshals watching this unfold right now. Either one of you make a move, all of us are leaving here in a body bag.
He's right. This is not the time or the place. But rest assured, Gimthrak, your time is coming. Majagua will not let your transgressions pass.
And yet you still don't realize that maybe you're the one who lost the path, old friend. We must do what we have to protect our community. Oh, you just lack the strength of will to act. Oh yeah. Oh, then I got another line right next to that. That makes sense.
God damn it, Steve.
As the outlaws make their hasty retreat to the safety of the mana waste, the cool night air shines down upon them. With little smog, the beautiful stars hang high overhead.
I'm sorry for dragging you all into that. I almost lost my cool back there. It's this damn city. I put my own desires over the safety of my friends. It won't happen again.
It's all right, Saruk. It wouldn't be the first time one of us did something hasty because we weren't thinking clearly. I'm literally a half cyborg for my actions.
We have your back. But we have to stay focused on the bigger picture. We need to figure out why Lovelace needs an army.
Well, I'm just hazarding a guess, Mr. Halbrand Shatner. But it might have something to do with that fire over there.
Oh no. With smoke pouring out of the window high up in the gunworks, there is a sudden explosion that sends a shockwave across the lands.
Whatever is going on up there, I bet it has to do with Lovelace. Let's go.
We smash cut to the inside of a crowded laboratory. Vats of chemicals spill everywhere, creating a chaotic scene of explosion, toxic gases, and something else very unsettling.
Unsettling is putting it mildly. Take that, fourth wall. Is that a pyronite ooze?
Leave this to me. After the last ooze, I've been training for just this moment. Wolf stance, activate.
Rafiki, be careful. That pyronite has got to be very volatile.
I'll just have to be precise in my strikes. Wolf pain strike. Oh!
It's unreal. His movements are like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yes, but one wrong strike, and the explosion will kill us all.
It's time to finish this. 64 strikes of the Howling Wolf. Irsha, I will not fail you now. It is done.
I don't mean to spoil the moment, as amazing as that was, but I can hear some commotion up on the rooftop.
Oh my. Look at that. An entire horde of rampaging marauders bearing down on this very fortress. Why isn't the mob repelling them?
I think I can answer that. That's a pyronite bomb that's stuffed into that end of that barrel, and that angry Cyclops guarding it doesn't look like he's about to let anybody pass.
Don't worry, Miss Mendoza. I can deal with him. Hey, One Eye, how'd that depth perception treating you?
You know, it's quite rude to make fun of a man for his heritage. Historically, Cyclops have been misunderstood. Yes, we only have a singular ocular focal point, but we make up for it in many other ways.
Oh, good. Hal's got him distracted. Let me just take this chance to grappling hook over there. Oh, okay. This fuse, I just need to pull it out. How easy, eh? Guys, look, I did it.
Wait, this was just a ruse? You tricked me. You knew us Cyclops have a propensity to be long-winded, and you used that to distract me. Well, I'll have you know there's another trait we have. Brutality.
Hey, hands off. What are you doing?
Oh, my Major. He just pushed Anita off the cannon. We've got to be 40 floors up.
Who can play at that game?
Very good, Wolf Howl.
Yeah, that was great. That came out of a person. Wowie.
Oh no! You've managed to push me off to my death! This is quite concerning!
Look, Anita. She managed to hang on by that grappling hook there, to the window.
Listen, I think dying once was enough for me. Thanks. Now, if you don't mind, pull me up.
How many pages is this script? I've got her. Saruk and Hal, why don't you guys give the Marauders a taste of the maw?
You don't have to ask me twice. Like I said, I always wished I'd have a chance to fire it.
This cannon is surprisingly easy to fire. And it loads so fast. Why is that?
It says right here on the side. It's powered by Molten Hosting.
Molten hosting? Wow! I'm guessing that's what makes it work so easy. But I bet something like this must cost a pretty penny.
I'm not so sure, Saruk. Look here. It also says, use this one word to get an entire month of service for free. That must be a joke. There's no way to give boys something like this for free.
Well, when you don't constrain yourself to the selfish motives like capitalism, anything is possible. What is the magical word anyway?
Recall knowledge.
One word.
One word!
Wait, did you just say recall knowledge?
Surely that's 2 words, isn't it?
Not according to what's written right here. Shirley. And don't call me Shirley?
Hey, look, according to these plans here, it looks like Loveless is planning to use the Pyronite on the Alkenstar Falls hydropower generator. We better hurry back home to put a stop to that.
And as our outlaws rush home, they still find themselves one step behind Lovelace and her plans. And if you want to find out what happens next in our story, you'll have to tune in next week on Molten Recap.
Feel free to talk here.
Oh yeah. Well, all more fun stuff that we didn't get to see play out. Although I will say part of what happened in that script was based on actual events we did play out just to test our characters. So enjoy. We already got a late start tonight. How about we go play some Pathfinder and not just read
We're
about
playing Dance Party.
Dance Party?
Pregnant pot. There we go.
Pathfinder? What?
All right, everyone. I think that's going to do it for announcements. Viewers, you can go ahead and sit back and relax. Not with that like laser gun in my ears, but
No, we're being
players.
fired upon.
Let's jump into episode 2 of Outlaws of Alkenstar, The Smoking Gun, written by Cole Kronwitter. Let's roll that new cinematic. Here we go. And we're back. When we last left off, our outlaws found themselves deep in the underbelly of a pleasure cruise ship called the Gearsmoke that was rocketing towards Alkenstar, filled with 3 pyronite bombs. They managed to find one bomb hidden in the lair of a
I believe in you.
boba cow. It was a catoblepas. No, kettlepas.
It's a corpse. It's a corpse we shot
It's
until
dead
it died.
now. A disgusting, large, stinky cow creature that, for some inexplicable reason, had a bomb stuffed in its cage that has now been deactivated thanks to some fancy work by Anita. And as the episode came to a close, you heard over the loudspeakers that there is going to be a opening cruise celebration on the decks above you, and all guests are being summoned to the open air gambling floor on the mid deck of the Gearsmoke. And you guys are still here, the rotting, disgusting, stinky corpse lying on the opposite end of the room. But that's where we pick up tonight. One small point of clarification. I believe I had told you last week that one of the people that was on the boat was named Parsis. I got my cronies mixed up. It's actually the ship you guys know is owned by the Nexian wizard named Ibrium, not Parsis, who was the Geb necromancer who told you about this diabolical plan. If it makes a difference to you. That being
Completely
said,
changes everything, Steve.
changes everything. Oh no. That being said, the camera picks up and fades in. You guys look well rested. You guys have patched yourself up. It's time to go find more bombs and deal with them. What is your guys' plan?
Right, so we're going to see the elephant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of great things. And there's also a there is a door like here that leads like in and out of the room. The one thing I'll say is, as you see from the inside, it looks like it's been completely smashed as this thing thrashed around the room, and it's actually bent like the metal door against the frame. That makes it look like it's pretty wedged and stuck, which means this room probably seems like fairly secluded from the rest of the ship because people can't get in very easily unless they're venting like you guys are. So as you guys sort of crawl back into the vents, into this network, this complex network of vents, where's your destination?
I think the room where the elephant was, because you'd said something about how the elephant was going like up to be part of the like presentation or what have you.
As you kind of crawl through the vents, still down here in the bowels of the ship, you kind of come into this room. There's 3 vents, which you guys can kind of see, like here, here, and here, so you can position yourselves amongst those vents however you want. But as you're kind of coming into this room, like crawling through, you hear the voices of workers calling down from below, and it sounds like there is a handful, probably about 3 or so engineers in this room down here that seem to be trying to fix a problem. It sounds like there's some sort of stuck gear, and they're debating how to best fix the problem.
Is it possible to, from the point of view of the greats, can we look around the room and see if there might be a precarious bit of pyronite jammed somewhere that somehow these guys haven't noticed?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check?
Okie dokie.
From her perch up in the vent, can Anita try and figure out what the engineers are figuring out?
Yeah. Why don't you give me either some sort of lore check or just a crafting if you don't have a lore you think is more applicable. So as you scan the room down here, Saruk, you notice that this is another cargo hold similar to where the customers and where you guys were brought in on the luggage. In contrast to that, this seems to be more focused on ship resources and ship supplies. There is tons of crates stacked, any number of which could be filled to the brim with pyronite, but they're all sealed shut from where you are. It's hard to tell. The thing that you notice the most is right in the dead center of the room. There is basically like 4 pillars that run straight up in the room, and there's this like weird metal platform with a giant blanket thrown over it that's dominating the center space of this room. And every so often you hear that similar elephant noise that you heard on your recording coming from that like blue tarp in the center of the room. Unfortunately, there's no apparent source of pyronite that seems to be visible. And then Anita, it sounds like they're talking about like a lifting mechanism, and there's a single gear that has a broken spoke, and like every time it like starts rotating, it sort of loses, and then the like lift sort of like slams back down. So they're trying to find a replacement gear. They've been told they have about 3 minutes before this thing needs to be up on deck, and they're just trying to get this repaired in time for that to happen. You can hear all this from the vents coming up.
All right, shall we wait for the lift to go up and then we'll go in, or?
Yeah, let's. I have a hunch, and Sirk's gonna scoot to the. I'm gonna call it the paddle room, but I know that's not the term. But I'm sure Steve knows what I'm talking about. The room where the paddles that are moving the boat are. Here
on this ship, they refer to it as the engine room.
Oh, fair enough. Is the engine really also located there? Fair enough.
Yeah, and as you move back here, you can see that the large engine that turns the cranks and the paddles is all like contained in this back room.
Second verse, same as the first. I want to see if dawns on me if you're trying to blow up and or maybe disable it. Well, I forget. They want to run this ship into the center of town to do egregious harm with it. They probably don't want to disable it. But here's a perception check anyway. Might there be a bomb in here?
Scanning from up in the high like vent situation, it doesn't appear to be any immediate pyronite. There's actually not a lot hidden in this room. There's a staircase that leads up from here, and the large engine and like 2 very large clockwork crankshafts with this huge chain that kind of dangerously just streams through the room at high speeds. And these workers are moving within feet of this thing, and like any one of them could easily get caught and pulled to their death. But no signs of Pyronite, at least here in the engine room.
These steampunk shenanigans are a violation of OSHA. Cirque's gonna back his way back to where the rest of the team is.
So you guys are just willing to wait for them to get the lift fixed and clear out, right?
Yeah, unless anybody has any other ideas.
We think they're going to be able to fix it?
Well, based on what we heard, based on what I saw, I don't think they could. However, they are expected to lift that thing up like right away. So one of my worries is actually if they don't get it up right away, that one of maybe like the authority figures is going to come down and just like whip them back into shape.
Sounds at this time like they have located the replacement gear and they're just getting it into place. It sounds like they're listening up the shaft board for something, and then one of them says, "That's the signal," and like one of them on the side like pulls this giant like lever type thing. The gear start like turning and cranking, and the gear that they replaced it with holds, and the whole platform with the blue tarp and the elephant and everything just goes straight up. And immediately they all sort of like dripping in sweat, watch it go up, and then they celebrate as then they say, let's take that break of ours, and they all sort of leave out the north side of the room, and all the crew members disappear, leaving it an empty cargo hold.
Go take a look around. Maybe there's something in one of these boxes, that big barrel or something.
Yeah.
So you guys easily descend from the vents, and I will just say that at this point you sort of come down, like it's still trying to be quiet just in case there's people around, but there's a loud racket coming from the next room that masks a lot of the sounds here, and you find yourselves in the cargo hold number 3. So we are in a sort of exploration phase. What is your exploration activities at this time?
Search for bomb, whatever that one is.
Search for bombs. So seek action from Saruk.
I think I'll be scouting.
Scouting. Okay.
Near the door, maybe holding it closed.
Listening for potential intruders coming in.
Seeking for any valuable items.
Okay. Give me a seek action for Anita and for Reficule.
Avoiding notice.
So Reficule is positioning himself to avoid notice. Okay. Saruk and Anita spend about 10 minutes like looking through like the suspiciously large rounded crates, looking for anything. Well, Saruk's looking for anything explosive, and Anita's looking for anything valuable. So as you go through a couple of the things that look most suspicious to you, Saruk, you end up not finding any sign, at least in this 10 minutes of searching, of being any Pyronite whatsoever. It seems to be just very standard kitchen supplies and playing cards and poker chips. There's even a crate of bed linens and pillowcases that are nice, brand new, and stored down here. It looks suspiciously like they've been covered in so much dust that the crate itself, to the point where you can like basically like you have to wipe the dust clear to read what the box is labeled as, which is kind of weird because the rest of the ship looks pretty new. But nothing that looks dangerous to your eyes. Anita, as you search for anything valuable, you find near where the workers had been working on the gear. Some of them left their like sort of a bag of tools that they had.
Ooh.
So I'll go ahead and reveal this sort of treasure pile, which contains a set of glass blowers tools and
Thunderstone.
a greater thunderstone.
Sweet.
Hal's listening to the door. At this point, it doesn't sound like anyone is approaching, and Reficule is just hiding. So that 10 minutes sort of passes by. We're in the next sort of 10-minute block. What are you guys doing?
And meanwhile, above us, the elephant is still elephanting, I presume.
Yeah, it's hard to hear because it's like 2 levels above you guys at this point. You're looking from the bottom of the platform. This metal thing has been lifted using the 4 pillars. They seem to run right up the center of the ship, you're seeing the bottom of this metal platform that's 2 stories above you. So you hear sort of the trumpeting of the elephant every so often, and about like 5 or so minutes into this block of time, there is like a loud like applause and cheer, and it sounds like whoever the guests are up above you are having a pretty good time and cheering and clapping, and like some loud dance music starts playing up there as well. Sounds like there's a pretty good party going on up above you.
That must be where I heard that dance party after that great recap of our adventures. Huh. Okay, so lest we just randomly, room by room, desperately digging through people's linens trying to find explosives. I'm trying to think. Steve, how do you feel about a bomb lore check? Or like where best to place the explosives? See if we can't narrow this down a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I'll take a bomb lore check.
Don't anyone question why I have this.
You're the bomb.
Oh, I know. Question marks.
You start running through the calculations of where the best place for the bomb is, knowing the first bomb was placed in the sort of underdeck, especially on the back side of the ship, or the front side of the ship, sorry. The main reason somebody would have 3 bombs on a ship is A, for redundancy in case some were disabled, but B, coverage, right? You'd want to split the bombs up as much as possible so that when they all go off, your blast radiuses minimize the overlapping, right? To send the explosion out. If you were to place a bomb that you wanted to kill the most people as possible and get the most explosion as possible, it probably would be placed right in the center of a room like this. And as your eyes like look up towards the platform that's been raised onto the deck, you start to realize that if you're going to hide an explosive in plain sight, you'd probably put it inside a mechanical elephant.
Machagua.
Are we ever going to see this bloody elephant?
Sooner than you think. They probably put the bomb inside of it. We should... I am shouting full... Oh, man, there's an engine right there. I am shouting full bore with a bunch of people in the next room over. Oops. Let's clamber back up into the vents when the elephant comes down.
In the elephant.
It's not a real elephant.
Maybe they put it in his trunk.
I swear to...
Like Wybert.
Ceremoniously
Wybert,
clambers
right?
inside
Wybert.
the vents. Done with you all.
That makes sense.
Daddy Saruk is done with your shit.
If, assuming you guys are all venting again, where is the plan to go this time?
To the bull. I mean, the elephant. Oh, there's going to be a lot of people. All right. What's the plan there? Because there's going to be a lot of people.
Right. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
The elephant's not in the room, Ruffy. That's the problem. Why are you the way that you are?
All right. What about the elephant in the room?
Glances over to Ruffy. Tell us all about the elephant in the room.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
And we sit here and we wait for the party to end, and then they'll put it back. And when they don't have a bunch of people trying to fix the gears, we can take it from there.
All right.
So we're missing the party too.
There's a way up in the vents, like three levels, right? We can go up to the next level while people are all running around doing their fancy stuff. We can go into the different rooms.
Would it help too if maybe like we tinkered a bit with the engines and like stalled the ship going into the city a little bit more?
Anita, you're a genius.
I don't know. Is that sarcasm?
No, I mean it. If this all goes catastrophically wrong, but the ship can't move, that's exactly, yeah, let's... If you two want to go poke your heads up there and see if you can't find anything else, Anita and I can see to the engine.
We're dealing with professionals here. I'm sure they've rigged the bombs to the speed of the boat, that if we go under 45 knots.
Isn't 45 knots like egregious? How fast is 45 knots? Google search.
Galarian knots.
Oh, it's like 51 miles per hour. That's not...
That's fast.
On the water?
Just take the water interstate. It's not weird.
That's speed.
The water 405.
So yeah, Anita, just taking a quick peek at the engine, it doesn't look like it even has the bare minimum of protection. It's just like an open engine with a chain that runs through it with the clockwork gears. It looks like, yes, you would absolutely be able to disable it if you could get in there. It wouldn't be that hard to disable. The problem seems to be mainly that there's an active engine crew that is stationed here. So the question is, what do you do with the crew? I mean, yeah, that's an option, Ruffy. I'm just saying, like, this room is not abandoned for sure, unlike the other rooms you've been in so far. So
They seem to be a problem, Saruk. Like, we could stall this as many times as we could, but their job is literally to keep the ship running.
Yeah. Is there some way to do it? Surreptitiously is the wrong word, but could you rig it to fail in a certain amount of time, maybe? Say, like, when this lot has gone to bed, you come back, set the engine to fail in 8 hours-ish.
How much longer do we have until we get to the city?
if and where you guys boarded the boat, probably in the neighborhood of 2 days.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we have a lot of time. Yes, of course. I think I can do that.
We just circle back here when they go to bed.
All right. But yes, that's definitely a plan.
Well, let's see what we can't find. Saruk, like, leans his head up and, like, lightly tings on the ceiling. And when the elephant comes down, then we'll deal with that then.
All right, let's go. As we head back into the vents and go up to the next level.
Just go up to the next level?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are at the front of the boat and at the back of the boat, I'm assuming, because there's water there, and the other room at the front was circular. I mean, I don't know if it went further. And he points back towards the stinky cow.
From here, you can climb up. Now, the vents don't have any sort of like ladders built in. They're not really built for, for actual like traversing like this. So it's a bit trickier to go between levels than it is to go on the same level. But I will absolutely allow you to sort of, you're doing that thing where you're like shimmying up the sides and sort of like pressing your weight and like pushing yourself up. It takes considerably more time to travel between levels is generally what I'm saying.
I think it goes faster if we play America's favorite game, pass the grappling gun back and forth until we're all up.
Ooh, the grappling gun. Well, that's actually interesting. Yeah, that could work. So yeah, you guys are able to sort of grapple your way up into the vents. And as you get to the second floor, the second story, which we'll refer to as the passenger deck, as you're looking down the vents, and you guys realize that basically you are all staring like right over individual rooms.
Ooh.
So you find yourselves all looking down at rows and rows of passenger ships. But at this point, because it sounds like most people are probably on one more floor up enjoying the party, these rooms appear to be, every room that you guys are looking at right now is at least empty.
Well, I suppose the plan is to scramble until we find a room that is bigger than somebody's bedroom. And then go from there.
I will say you guys sort of scramble along the edge, following the vents this way, until as you sort of move towards the front of the ship, you see the room does open up into a smoking room of sorts, and the scent of like cigar smoke wafts in from the air up into your nostrils, mixed with a tinge of disgusting stinky cow residue that's still flowing through the vents from below, which has lessened a bit since you killed it, mixed with burning incense that is attempting to mask the smell, but is instead making a new, almost more disgusting scent and aroma that causes you to like stifle a gag. As you're here, though, and as you're looking down into the vents, you do catch one group of people hanging out in the smoking lounge, enjoying their cigars. Saruk and Ruffy, it is none other than Gimthrak and 2 shield marshals, kick back, enjoying their cigars.
I remember from the last time I saw him in the montage that I have to stay focused on the mission, and so that is what I'm going to do. What is this.
Just saying, once again, we've got a lot of pyronite.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it's actually a giant harp that's sort of bolted into the ground that can be play music. Like there could be a live musician playing like harp music here. It's currently unmanned, but there is a giant oversized harp.
Interesting. Well, there's certainly one of the keys, but is there... Leaving pyronite in a smoking room is the stupidest idea I've ever heard in my life.
There's not a lot in terms of places to hide a bomb that you, at least readily apparent.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the time.
I wonder if, like, Gimthrak would have one of the keys for the bombs.
No, most certainly.
Yeah.
It might be worth the key then.
Yeah, as you scan the room, Saruk, unless they've managed to somehow create the pyronite bomb small enough to fit in the cushions of the sofas, you're pretty sure there's no bomb in the smoking room.
Like, what if, like, I use a smoke stick and then just drop it while we're here in the vents, and then one of us could, like, get down, look into Gimthrak's, like, trousers, and see if he has the key there.
You are feeling very brave this whatever time in universe it is right now.
I don't know. It's either a key or we, like, pray to Majagua or the Lady of Rye that I don't, like, blow us all up if I do try and disable another bomb.
Do any of these shield marshals look familiar?
Why don't you give me a perception check out? Between the incense and the cigar smoke and through the vents, it's hard to make out actual faces necessarily, but we'll see if you can possibly. 22. Yeah, it's the angle that you have on them, it's hard to see from the back of their head. No one that like immediately stands out as any person of importance to you, at least. Oh, do we press on to a different location, or do we smoke bomb and check Gimthrak's pockets?
Who's blowing sick vapes in here? Somebody just goes down and pulls the fucking keys and runs. Oh, God.
You know my vote.
I know. We gotta stay focused. We could take them out now, and then they find the bodies or the lack of. It becomes problematic. I don't want to have to babysit him until I'm ready to take him back to Motakali. We should. And Zerx is gonna. Presuming the ship functions on similar logic, if we go yonder, there should be a big room at the very back.
You want to check the backside of the ship
Yeah.
instead? For sure.
Yeah.
I'll move you guys down that way. So leaving the ominous Gimthrak behind, you kind of crawl back towards the other end of the ship, past all of the, all these rooms seem mostly occupied. You can see like luggage and people that have set up. But since it's early in the excursion, they're not sleeping yet. They're up dancing, having fun. At the back room, much to what you expect, you do find a big open room. In this case, it's a long buffet set up in what appears to be a dining hall. You found the cruise ship buffet. A long buffet table like stands against the wall. There's like 5 dining tables with space for people to do. There's not a lot of food out right now, but occasionally you see like coming through like the doors, servers, waiters, chefs are like kind of coming in and getting this room prepared for meal service at least.
And then back here is that just like a wall that cuts off into nothing, or?
Yeah, it's hard to see from the vent necessarily what it is, but yeah, it just appears to be sort of dead space. The wall just sort of solidly cuts into this weird shape. Based on what you know is below, this is probably a cutout where the giant oversized paddles are just on the other side of the wall, and the which is pushing the boat. There is a nice set of like staircase on either end of the dining hall that goes up, and from here, the loud, rambunctious music and dance party is raging even louder. Seems like you're just right down from under the party. Yeah, you just walk. If you went there, you'd be walking right up into the party.
With a different character, maybe. Stay focused. Is there a bomb in the kitchen? I finally rolled well.
Yeah, there's no visible bomb in that immediately stands out. And again, there's not a lot of room. I guess the one place that maybe could have a bomb would be tucked beneath the buffet table. There could be a bomb built into that long table, but it doesn't seem to fit the dimensions of the last bomb. You feel pretty confident this room is clear.
Clear. And then I'm just gonna keep, I guess, make a lap around the place, go through this this side of the ship, go up starboard side.
Is this area the back of the ship, like outside?
That is the back of the ship on the outside where the gears are sort of pushing the ship. The vents sort of end right here, so there's no way to vent any further back, but you could drop out of the vents to scurry around if you'd like.
Sirk's gonna... No, he's really bad at sneaking and stay in the vents.
And from where you guys are, directly up to where the party is, there's no vents that go straight up. All the vents that go up are towards the front half of the ship as well.
That tracks. Okay, do the vents go this way?
There is a big open space in the middle of the ship, like on the other side of the dining room wall, and you see the workers going in and out from there, which tells you that the kitchen is probably that way, but there's no vent to the kitchen.
Huh. Here's hoping they don't eat onions in Alkenstar. That sounds fucking miserable. Well, shit. If we want to go in the kitchen, we have to go in the kitchen down.
Let's check the other side. And then we can always come back here and then have a look.
Sir nods and begins crawling down the other side.
Mostly just mirrors what you saw on the other side of the ship, which is to say a bunch of individual rooms. Each appears locked. About 3/4 of them are filled. And then, here at the end of the hall, there's a small hallway a staircase that goes up. Actually, this stairwell that you're looking at here goes down to like the underbelly where you guys came up from. And it appears to be like a staff only stairwell.
And then this vent here goes up.
Yeah, from here and like this half of the ship where all the passengers' rooms are, there are like ways to get up higher. I'll just show you like more and more. Like everywhere you crawl around, you spend like a good part of time crawling around. You just see more and more of the same sort of doors, passenger rooms, and staircases that go down to the underbelly of the ship. So at a quick cursory glance, it doesn't appear to be any bombs hidden on this level, other than the dining room, which you haven't been able to check yet.
We were told 3.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one in the catapultus room, one that's presumably in the elephant, and third...
That roll, using the roll that you had earlier, if there was a third bomb, they would keep it somewhere close and secure and safe. They'd have one that was under their direct supervision. So assuming that like Lovelace, Ibrahim, the rest of the people are here on this ship somewhere, they probably have it in their quarters or close to them at least.
And last but not least is the captain's quarters. Assuming Lovelace isn't just keeping it in her backpack.
And as you hear some of the workers that go around like having chat, you do realize that like a lot of these people have probably been on the ship, have seen stuff. There could be some social engineering possibilities to talk to people to find clues or what they've seen, assuming you could win them over with your wit and charm.
I think I'd rather chance the bad rolls on us blowing ourselves sky high as opposed to fucking up the social situation. On the presumption that these vents go up, Suruk is going to start upping.
Yeah, we can go up one more level.
I can't see.
It's because we're in the vent. There's nothing to see.
No, I'm stuck here on like the second floor.
It's because you're in the vent on the second floor. You shouldn't have forced Wybert to...
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, so moving up to the next level. The rooms here look much more spacious and less cramped. It's like you've moved from coach to what appears to be sort of the VIP section of the ship. And from here, looking down, this room in particular seems to be the captain's. There's like a big decorative like thing over the giant master bed that says like, a captain's home is where his or lives or something. nonsensical to that effect. You have access to the same floor plan at least. So I assume you're going to follow the same mythology of like, let's check the ends of the ships and look for big open rooms and see what we can find.
I will follow the same mythology, checking every room, just like Sargon or somebody.
Yep. So this room here opens up into a large dining hall, similar to the one downstairs. Instead of a buffet that is sort of manned for the coach passengers, this VIP dining hall seems to be set with a very nice aesthetic. Large wooden dining table standing in the middle of the hall. There's like a giant crystal chandelier, and the room has this weird sort of lifelike glass statues that are poised around the outside looking in at it. And sort of sitting at the table, there's this like womanly feminine figure sort of sitting almost like bored at the head of this dining hall, and these weird crystal-like, they look like they are shaped like humans or clockworks, but they're made entirely of glass. And they're all sort of sat motionless around the table as well.
Well, for like the 17th time today, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
could
make
you,
a
like-
perception check.
Could I? Oh, all right, cool. I was going to ask if I could like stay a couple more minutes just to look at the pretty lady.
Oh, Nina.
Why don't you give me a perception check as you check out the pretty lady for Anita? Again, Saruk, small possibility that each one of these creatures could be stuffed with pyronite. There's a possibility that these 4 creatures around the table are indeed containing a bomb similar to the elephant that you know exists. But there's no signs of any like this. It's a pretty wide open room, unless the bomb is like hidden under the table where someone might accidentally stumble across it. You're pretty sure there's no bomb in this room. And Anita, as you're staring at the lady, you can see oddly she's kind of has this like hood thing, and as you're staring at her, this sort of snake-like creature sort of slithers out from under her like hood and like lifts out, and you realize she's got snakes hiding under her like coat. And as it like pulls out and lifts, you see it has kind of caught on the snake's head. She's wearing a necklace with a key on the end of it, and she sort of like smacks the snake head and tucks the key back in her shirt. But she has snakes for hair, and she's wearing a key around her neck.
The pretty lady has a key around her neck.
Saruku is intently like glancing up and down the glass things, trying to see if there's anything pyronite adjacent in them. So that's the second one.
How many times have we talked about this? Their eyes are up here.
Oh, no, I was following the snake. The snake went down.
No sign of a bomb, but you have another beat on a potential key.
Is it still loud enough, like on this deck, in a hypothetical universe in which we were to shout Leroy Jenkins, kick the vents out, fall down into this room, guns blazing, would the party goers hear us? Or
The party itself is pretty loud and is taking place on the other side of the ship, and I think you would have enough cover under the loud music playing to not necessarily be heard by where the majority of people are. But it is quiet enough around here that if there's anyone in the adjacent rooms, you may end up actually drawing a little bit of unwanted attention. But I will add to that, as you have access to the vents, and as you scope out the rooms nearby, they're all emptied for the sort of kickoff party. This lady appears as isolated as you could hope to get.
Mm-hmm.
Saruk's gonna just keep bopping room to room, trying to find like a captain's quarters or...
Yeah, you started, so this room that you were in was definitely the captain's quarters that you already saw. There's another room sort of here that leads upwards. And then down here, there looks like more like sort of, I don't know about captain's quarters, but crew quarters, servants' quarters. This is where like most of the crew probably lives and spends their time and day.
And then what was this?
If you were to quantify it, it's probably like the first mate's cabin. It's not quite as luxurious as the captain's cabin, but the first mate would have their own living space here as well.
Got it. It just seemed to be full of like arcane bric-a-brac.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is more full than some of the other rooms. It definitely has rich furnishing. There's like crumpled clothing. It doesn't look like necessarily arcane stuff, but just clutter, crumpled clothing, piles of dirty laundry, trash, like fast food containers, a stack of like Mountain Dew bottles that hopefully are filled with Mountain Dew.
Gross. Ugh. I hate that I'm going into the neckbeard nest, but does it look like there's anything like a journal or missives, notes, anything in the space?
It definitely looks, I would say it looks possible from up in the vent without getting a closer look. There is like a lot of crumpled papers, whether there's like an active journal that he keeps hidden in his drawer or something. There's not just one laying out, I'll say, but it might be in his drawer or under his bed or something like that.
I think before we descend into the disgusting, Strook's going to circle back. Let's pop into the captain's quarters, see if we can find something written down. Must we just be poking our heads in rooms randomly all night?
Yeah, the rooms that are on this side are what appears to be like VIP suites in a way. Like these rooms are much nicer, much wealthier. They got like their own suites set up. And for just a moment, as you pass by one of the vents, you catch a slight glimpse leaving the room, Anita.
Mhm.
What you swore looked just like Maeve.
In one of the rooms?
It looked like she was in one of these rooms. It almost looked like as you were like coming by the vent, she was in the middle of leaving out of the room and she like closed the door and like locked it behind her.
Anita starts going like this to Refi. Refi! Refi!
What?
Did you see that? I think it's Maeve.
Maeve, no, she's working on a boat.
We are on a boat, you silly.
Right. Could have been Maeve.
She was walking out of the door. You think she was here with someone? Now I feel like I'm cheating because I was looking at that pretty lady.
Saruk shrugs in polyamory.
So I guess blowing up the boat's out of the question now, right?
No, not. You want to blow up the boat with us in here?
No, hopefully we're not in the boat, but I'm saying before it gets to the city.
Ah, I see what you mean. But yes, no, that's out of the question. If who I saw was Maeve, then yes, that is out of the question. Unless we could get her out too.
You think she has any info?
Probably she's very social. She used to be a dancer. I'm not sure if that's the same job she has right now.
And we were just like over her room, is that right? Or is she just kind of like caught a glimpse of her?
Mm-hmm.
Caught like just as she was leaving, just a moment glimpse that caused her to think she saw Maeve. Not even 100% sure, but you're pretty sure.
If Annie knows anyone's backside, it'd be Maeve.
That's true. Because she kept walking away from me, so I mean, it's very familiar.
You sweet summer child.
You hated to see her go, but you love to watch her leave.
She was definitely leaving towards these main hallways that kind of feed out towards the back end of the ship. And I will say, up here on this level, this is as far back as the vents go. The entire back half of the ship, there's no vents that go back that way anymore.
I wouldn't doubt Maeve would know at least something about the rich folk that are here right now.
Something to put a pin on if we see her.
Yeah, the only other thing I suppose worth pointing out is all these rooms are currently empty except for one and it's this bedroom here. There are 3 more like glass-like creatures standing guard, motionless in this room.
If only I didn't fuck up the winder's ring. So Strook's gonna make his way back to the captain's quarters and see if he can't find like a journal or something.
You know, maybe try and look for like a key.
No problem. So you guys are able to drop down into the captain's quarters. Yeah, why don't you guys go ahead and just give me the perception checks here.
Huzzah!
Can I roll higher than a fucking 2 tonight? Oh yes, I can.
Underneath her bed, you do find a small locked foot locker chest.
Ooh.
you're able to pull it out from under the bed and set on it. It is locked, so it will take some good old fashioned thieving to get into it. But that definitely has some valuables to it. Saruk, sitting out on the open table is her personal sort of journal and diary. And as you kind of like give it a glance, just, it would take a long time to peruse the whole thing, but just at a glance, you can see that she hates her job. The captain feels way overqualified to be a pleasure cruise ship captain, but in these hard times, this was the best paying job she should get. And for some reason, the ship owner's willing to overpay her. And so she's not questioning it. She's just cashing in and going through the motions.
Rafi, could I get your assistance?
Right, sure. What you need me to do?
So there's this box, and I need you to open it, please.
Right, let me give it a crack. And I will try to open the box.
Yep, go ahead. Give me a thievery check.
Thievery.
Gotcha. 26.
26. Okay. Yeah, so you're able to basically finagle the chest open, pop the lock open without much issue. You guys are pretty high level. It's just a normal standard lock. And you go ahead and pop open this chest, which is full of a bunch of her personal savings, including like 100 plus gold pieces, a bullet that's carved with some sort of weird magical explosive powder in it, and a weird coin. But I think as you guys loot that, I'll let you guys help yourself to those things, including the vanishing coin, which is a magical sort of trinket you could get.
I think Hal could use this, no?
Only possible. I think since we've been playing for a decent amount of time, let's take a quick break and rest and stretch our legs and come back and close out our episode as Saruk just like turns his head to the captain thievering and moves on up.
Real team players in Pathfinder 2nd Edition turn a blind eye.
I mean, the real question is, your heart. It doesn't. I guess from your perspective, reading the diary, you don't really know, but it doesn't seem like she's necessarily crying. She's not in this for the crime or anything. She's just
trying to make a buck.
Yeah, she's trying to make a buck. And I think probably too, this would be a good time to give a little bit of information, which is to say that she has complaints that the like Angelique Lovelace and her shield marshals have like kind of graciously offered to provide their security services free of charge during this leg of the pleasure boat excursion, and they are currently inhabiting the entire top half of the ship and are not letting anyone, including crew members, into that area. The captain and her first mate are the only people on the ship authorized to go in, and she complains that they basically scratched up the wood because they were carting such heavy things into that part of the ship.
Which is where we are currently.
One above where you are.
I see. So the ship has 5 levels total?
There's the cargo hold, the passenger deck, the mid deck where you are now, and there's a top deck as well.
I see.
The vents don't go higher than this level, so there's no vents to the top deck.
Of course there's not.
Of course there's not.
Heck.
Well, we got to check the kitchen and then top side.
Top side, yeah. All right, so we'll do that when we get back. In the meantime, take a chance to support us here at Recall Knowledge. You can head on over to twitch.tv/Recall Knowledge to give us a follow if you're not already. Follow us on youtube.com/Recall Knowledge, patreon.com/Recall Knowledge. Basically, search Recall Knowledge in almost all places, and you'll find us, generally speaking. Including, check out the podcast. We got a podcast that releases, and it's getting some steam. So download it, listen to our show on your commute. Help it pass by a little easier. We don't even advertise that enough, but where's the podcast? You just search Recall Knowledge on most major podcasts, like services. You'll find it.
Apple Podcasts, right? Google Podcasts, anywhere you can find your podcasts, we should be there.
It goes back to the previous advice. Just search Recall Knowledge and find us on things. We're gonna be back in about 10 more minutes to finish out tonight's show, so don't go anywhere. And yeah, stretch your legs and let's see if we can find this last
In 10 minutes, the story ends as it begins with Saruk in the kitchen making fucking bread. Let's go.
Full circle, right? We've come full
Just
circle.
kicks down the door. You fucked it up, you fucking donkey! And just switch entirely to what's his bucket for the rest of the adventure.
We're a cooking simulator now. All right, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. Welcome to the the second half of the episode as we watch Saruk just turn away at the last moment before Refi pops open a lock and Anita dumps the contents into Wybert's trunk. The real question now is you've gotten a pretty good sense of layout. Everywhere you have access to has been shared with you in some level. But really, it's going to be up to you guys to make the next move. So I will pass the control of the narrative back to you.
Where do we go from here? Do we wait for the elephant to come down? I know you want to see it, but it's
At the party.
It's not real.
Well, we have a couple of options. We know where one key is. We know where another bomb is. I'm not sure if Saruk said that the other bomb would be in a place where Loveless would be.
The other bomb is probably somewhere that Loveless would be. That makes sense. There, I said it. Haha.
And we have it in good authority that maybe we have the location of the other bomb, kind of. And Maeve's here. So we have a lot of options. Just have to choose. We could keep searching, but honestly, my knees are starting to hurt. And I'm running out of WD-40 for Wybert's joints.
And your joint.
Yeah, we're having to share it now. I've been hearing coins ever since I got into the captain's quarters, and it's making me want to just sniff at not sniff at everything, but look at everything. I know, steal. Sorry, Saruk. It makes me want to look into people's private inventories and take it.
You say in Skyrim.
Well, we could get the key off of the pretty lady while we wait for the elephant to go down.
Are you just going to ask her for it?
I don't know. I've read something in the library once about a woman that has snakes for her hair, and they typically turn people into stone. Then again, that's a myth. That's just my assumption on Greek mythology.
What's Greek mythology? I'm rolling a recall knowledge. This is out of hand.
Yep. So it would be a society check unless you have a more applicable lore.
Oh, I have academia lore. Here we go.
Academia lore, we'll take that.
The library. That's what I said. The library.
Yeah. Question marks.
Question.
Anita fails to recall any specific details about these things other than you pretty sure you remember reading it in fiction and not so much reality. Like you said, it's probably just a myth. Saruk, you do recall tales of such things which are known as Medusas, which have snake skin hairs, but in your recall knowledge, they are definitely real, they're definitely legit, and they can definitely turn you to stone if you basically look at them. Similar creatures.
Time dog.
Mm-hmm.
Does that explain there are a bunch of glass statues of people that are standing around in the room. Might I think that this Medusa is classifying people? Or
it's possible, right? With you've never heard of such things, but usually a telltale sign of a Medusa's lair is statues of people, past victims that are kind of kept on display as trophies. And you didn't see any stone statues, but you did see glass statues. So there's some part of you that thinks that you may be dealing with a sort of unique Medusa, or given that there's all these glass clockwork creatures also abound the ship, maybe Maybe they just got like a fascination with glass.
I'm just imagining angles from which a Medusa's gaze attack could bounce off of. I think the Cradle of Quartz has taught me things that are not helpful here. I'm just going through my. So presumably, the Catapulpus, the bomb in their cage. I'm gonna guess Gimthrak has that key. The Medusa probably has the elephant's key. We can take it from her. If they find her body, that becomes problematic if we want to stay quiet for the rest of this.
To just one more tidbit of information off your recall knowledge. With Medusas, like basically just ending your turn in visual sight of one can trigger an aura effect, which means, similar to the time dog, you want to not be able to see her if you want to avoid that effect. But even in that situation, besides just the passive effect, Medusas have the ability to sort of like do like a focus gaze kind of on you and like pick you out. So even if you're like averting your gaze, they could sort of try, as long as they can make eye contact with you, force themselves to make an even worse effect. So if you're gonna be dealing with Medusa, don't look at it.
With that in mind and that ability in mind, do I still feel like a smoke stick? Like, how does that ability interact with the smoke stick being down?
It's still a visual trait, so the smoke stack would cause the obscuring vision, and you'd probably be good as long as you stay within the smokestack and blind yourself to the Medusa.
And I almost bought one of the 20-foot radius smoke sticks. Damn, I should have done. If you're not feeling confident about disarming the bomb inside the elephant, we can get the key. If we do that, we're going to have to do the rest of this very expediently if we want to do it quietly. How do you feel, Anita?
I feel that I was very lucky on disabling the bomb just earlier. I think that there's still a little bit of luck in me. However, I am also unlucky, and sometimes the one in a million things happens to me. So if we could do this seems a little bit more like substantial.
And I'm gonna pass one of my smoke sticks over.
Are you guys planning to sort of do like you did against the stink cow, kettle bopas, whatever it was called? Tommy knows the name. Just drop from the vents and like surprise them? Or do you, because you know the layout, you could also like line up outside the door to the room and sort of kick in the door and go?
I wonder if there's a way to like aim the smoke sticks from the vents, and then once the smoke sticks have like dispersed, that's when we go down.
It's not a horrible idea. We go like, you and me go into the vents, Hal needs to be in the vent because Hal is a melee focused martial and needs to be front and center. Yeah, I feel like we could just drop down from the vents about it. If somebody wants to kick down the door and be cool, far be it from me to steal your thunder. But
like, because if we could obscure her vision from like the beginning, wouldn't that be
that's
advantageous
probably
for us? Yeah.
our first turn and or before the combat starts is huck smokestick down vent.
Yeah, I can visualize that, and like you guys just like both like drop the smoke stick and like now and then kick in and go. Yeah. How would you guys divide yourselves, the two vents?
I would be on opposite sides, Saruk and I, no?
Yeah.
Okay, Wybert will be behind you.
Good old Wybert.
Beep, beep, boop, bop.
Steve, has it been more than an hour since we started the mission, or since the Catapulpus fight even?
Yes, I mean at this point you're probably pushing closer to like 2.5, 3 hours since you've been on the ship.
Chug-a-lug-a-lug that inside coffee.
So you guys both have a smoke stick to use, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're just gonna. Is a 10-foot radius or 10-foot? What is the size of the smoke sticks you guys have?
I got a lesser.
Yeah, so it's
So, it's basically a 5-foot burst from one corner. So you guys are going to drop it right under the vent and just drop down into the smoke? Is that the plan?
Like, can I try and throw it from the vent?
Not from the vent. You'd have to drop from the... If you want to like come in and like throw it across the room, you wouldn't be able to start combat by throwing it, like dropping the vent, leaning under, tossing it across the room, and then doing that. We could do that, but we would roll initiative with your stealth versus their perception. And if you don't beat her perception with stealth, you wouldn't have the action to even do that before she notices you, right? So I'll let you guys drop the smoke sticks from in the vent right underneath, and then roll initiative there. Or you can try to push it and be a little sneakier and put it in a more advantageous position. Yeah, exactly.
We pass one of the smoke sticks back to Hal. Scouts charge, pop the thing, stab.
What do you think, Albert?
I mean, I guess to find out if it works. If y'all give me a smoke stick, I can jump down there.
The room here, because there's no windows to this room, and there's just the sort of like, there's a couple of burning lanterns near the front door, and like here over the table. It is actually pretty dimly lit in interior of this, which you would have the ability to sort of sneak around in. And you could also, theoretically start by, scouts pouncing. So is it just you dropping in at first and everyone else is staying in the vents?
For the bomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like once the bomb goes, everyone else goes down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. So in that case, we'll start that off then. I'll start an encounter up. Hal, you can add yourself to initiative, and I'll add creatures to the initiative as well. I'm going to have just for now. I'm just going to have Hal and the enemies. Then I'll add you guys in as needed. So I'm going to start. You can roll stealth, Hal, since you're avoiding notice. They are going to roll their sort of perception to see if you're able to drop in the room without being noticed. I guess technically, yeah. I'm not even going to set their DC. I'm going to set these. Oh, they got low rolls. Well, some of them did.
Halbert. Quick, everybody in the cast, give Hal too many hero points.
Right.
Let me see. I got to see something first. I got another ability that allows me to get another +2. Oh, never mind. It's proficiency, but I guess it would be scouting.
Yeah, I think you might be talking about like Shadow Mark when you're trying to help you follow individuals without them noticing you. And if you're shadowing a target, then they have a penalty to their initiative roll.
Yeah, I also have a Battlefield Surveyor, which gives me a +2, but I'm using Perception. When I use Perception, and then I had a +2 for scouting if I'm scouting, but I guess I'm avoiding notice, yeah.
Yeah, in this case, you're definitely avoiding notice. You're trying not to be noticed.
That doesn't feel like very much. I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay. Go ahead and re-roll that.
Yes.
Much
Nice.
higher.
Yes. Oh my
Much
goodness.
Gonna
All
say,
right.
always a stealth mission until it's literally not. But there we go. Stuck the landing.
Yep. So Hal, with 34 initiative, you're starting up in the vents. I'm gonna count that like sort of avoiding notice as you like silently like slide the vent casing off and like slip down into the shadows into the room. At this point, they haven't noticed you, but you're starting your turn out in the open. The only reason you really are able to do this is A, you beat them in initiative, but B, you blend in with the shadows, which gives you the concealment to even hide in the open. So what would you like to do?
I can slink automatically if I don't become observed, if I'm in dim light or darkness.
Okay.
Applicable, yeah.
Yep. So you can move through the gloom. You get 5 extra move when you take the sneak action. As long as you succeed on your stealth tech and you're in dim light or darkness, you are still concealed at the end of your turn. Yes. So normally when you slink and hide, you have to like take cover between every sneak action, but you don't have that restriction thanks to your heritage.
And so for 2 actions, I can hide and then sneak twice.
Yeah. Yep. Let's do that.
I also have combat climber, so I can climb with one hand and one hand.
Ooh.
So I have the smoke stick in my hand.
Okay.
And can climb down.
Yeah.
So I don't have to pull it out. And then I think I'll sneak close to her. I guess this was the sneak close to her and then pop the smoke stick. I think that was the plan, correct?
Mhm.
So sneak allows you to basically make a stealth check against their perception DC. When you sneak, you move up to half your speed. What does it say?
Yeah, my sneak. I can sneak 20 feet, 25 feet.
That should be more than enough.
Yeah, your speed is how much? Oh yeah, geez. So with that bonus, you can sneak 25 feet. Yeah, that's a lot. That's like normal movement speed for most characters. So go ahead and make that sneak check.
Let's go.
Oh, talk about good timing. I mean, Hal, this you managed to sneak right through the middle of this exquisite dining hall, completely unnoticed, right? With a natural 20, man.
Yes.
You can move up to 25 feet with your sneak. Crits in chat for that one.
Yes, sir.
I will move up to and then pop the smoke stick, right?
Yes.
Will you allow me to put it in her pocket?
Reverse pickpocket a smoke stick.
I mean, I guess it is interesting. So to put something in someone's pocket, it's the opposite of pickpocketing, and there are feats that allow you to do it. So if you really wanted to try to do this, I will allow it. It would definitely be a thievery check. Secondly, technically speaking, smoke sticks are like you twist them and they just create a puff of smoke. It's not like a constant stream of smoke that's going. But it's funny visually, so I'll allow you to try it if you want it to be centered on her. I'll let you stick it in her pocket. But it will be a thievery check.
You're good at those, right? Right?
There is a feat that allows you to basically do this with a lower DC, so it'd be a higher DC to even pull this off. But if you want to try it, I'm not going to stop you from trying it.
Like the fail condition is it just goes off in that square instead, or like...
Right, it would go off that square, and she would notice you, right? You wouldn't be undetected at that point.
Yeah. Now I think I'll just pop the stick right here since it's just a...
So you pick a corner of your square, and then it's 5 foot radius. So if you pick this corner up here, it would be, covered her and like this kind of 10-foot square. You'd like to do it and pick a different square, I'll let you pick any 10-foot square you want, especially with a natural 20.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Sneak.
Yeah. That was sneak, activate the smoke stick. Yeah. Yeah, because you used Fleeting Shadow, which was the 2 action thing. So yeah, I think we are. I think that is the end of your turn. You're still concealed. At this point, with the smoke going off, I think this is the signal for all of you guys. So I'll have you guys go ahead and roll initiative now. Add yourself to initiative. You're free to roll, perception if you choose. You could roll stealth if you still would like to.
24 for Anita.
29. I forget this is also going out as a podcast. Otherwise, I would have said that out loud more. Oops. Sorry, everyone.
So 31 for Reffy.
So you guys are getting the drop on them.
Yes.
Yeah, as Hal ends his turn, that's the signal. Ruffy, you're up next in initiative, even before they have a chance to act. And yeah, luckily, since you are in this concealed condition, Hal, you're not making any sort of saves against the Medusa Gaze, which isn't really active right now, anyways.
We're still in the vents, right?
Yes.
All right. I would like to... What should I do?
Yeah. The step one would probably be climbing out of the vent unless you're going to just jump down.
All right. I'll climb down.
Okay. Give me a climb check, which is athletics. Oh boy. Yeah.
Damn! Crits in the chat.
So yeah, you drop straight down from the vent, which would be like right here. One action to drop down. It does, without the feats though, it does take both hands being free to do that. So you drop down. You have 2 actions left.
No, because that was a free stride. Or does that count as stride climb? No.
It doesn't count as a stride, unfortunately.
Just drop down.
Drop down, fall damage. But yeah.
All right, second action, I'll draw my pistol. Third action, I'm just gonna shoot her because I don't know anything about Medusas.
She does have the concealed condition, so we'll start with the flat check. Have anything that alters the DC 5 flat check?
Nope.
DC 5 flat check to start. All right, pass the flat check. Roll the attack.
Natural 20, and then an 18, and then a 2. I'm gonna use a hero point.
Yeah, you
All
are.
right, go ahead and hero point this. 29. 29 is actually a hit.
Oh, nice.
Right, 12 points damage.
He shot
12
himself
points of
with his
damage,
confusion.
That's the end of my turn. Thank you.
Okay, so Rook.
Okie doke. So I didn't want to cut off anybody during the setup of the encounter, but in the time when we were talking about what to do and stuff and landing on go ambush the Medusa, I wanted to spend the minute to switch the Loveless lead to the Medusa. Yeah, the Loveless lead is one. And then secondly, when we were up in, I wanted to have out the... I learned so well from whoever the fuck wrote the goddamn Cradle of Quartz. I bought a cat's eye elixir. I only have the one, but it'll let me get around. As long as I'm within 30 feet, I can shoot through the smokestick without taking the downside. But we're not worried about that right now. We're worried about how the fuck I fire a backpack ballista from Insight. No, we're worried about the device stratagem roll. Let me just.
Just like reverse hang from the vents.
Don't worry about it. It's this suspend high magic setting or something. I'm gonna roll this. Devise a stratagem.
Devise that stratagem.
Brah. You know what? I hate that. I hate that a lot. I hate that so much.
Maybe a
that I
20.
won't use it. Okay, so then my first action is I'm gonna drink the cat's eye elixir.
Okay.
The second action is I'm just gonna roll down the vent. Like I'm not trying to climb down. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you're just gonna fall down. Okay, so you could use your reaction to grab the edge and fall down. It would be a stride and your reaction. If you don't want to do that, then this is essentially a 10-foot drop. So you would take damage and land prone, but I'll allow a reflex save to avoid landing prone if you so choose.
Okay. I'll just take the athletics check. I guess I'm not so great at it. Yeah. Try to 21.
DC
I'm
20 is all I'm choosing internally. It's not too crazy of a move.
Nice.
But
Okay.
Drop down. First action or second action, drop down.
Drunk a cat's eye elixir. Then second action comes down. Then third action is, I guess, to just. Do I feel like the table is a reasonable barrier to movement of tokens on the board and stuff?
I mean, it would definitely be difficult terrain to move through the table.
I see.
Can't step into it, but you could kind of shuffle over it as part of your movement with difficult terrain.
I guess the best thing I can probably do is my third action is to stride, and I will do so like such.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
All right. That brings us to Medusa's turn. Alicia.
I feel like you gotta hiss
Yeah.
the name. It's important.
Yeah, because it's the TH and the S combined. It's like double S. Alicia. Yeah, good call on the hiss.
I knew what they were doing.
First action, she gets angry. She sort of activates her eyes. Her eyes start to glow. The snakes fly out in full on ability, and she kind of turns on this Medusa gaze aura she has, and she's pushing at the smoke around her. Definitely does not like being in it. So she will spend her first action sort of moving out here. Probably move. She's gonna move, which will trigger, opportunity attacks or anything that Saruk and Hal might have.
I would like to take my opportunity attack.
Okay, go ahead, Hal.
Target.
Do you want to put her back here so Foundry reads flat-footed?
Yeah, that's a good point. She would be flat-footed for this. Also, give me the DC 5 flat check as well, Hal.
Let's do a D20.
I don't know if you have anything that adjusts that or not.
Not that I'm aware of.
I know there was talks about like blind fighting and stuff like that. Yep.
Yep.
The flat check passes.
I will strike the creature. Kopesh.
Nice.
Woo, nice. Whoa,
40.
shit.
That's a critical hit, Hal.
Does she not move?
It's
She
not a
continues to
manipulate
move.
action,
Oh.
so she still can move, yeah. When you hit it, oh, so they're flat-footed to everyone. Interesting. Nice.
Oops, sorry.
Roll that critical. Let's get another max damage roll.
Woo.
40 points. That's much better. Yeah, she freaking takes the whole 40 points of damage. All right. She does stumble out of here. Gaze going. Refi, she comes running out of the smoke at you. Snakes hissing. She obviously got hit by Hal. She's looking pretty bloodied. She's trying to figure out what's going on. But since you're like standing there, like right at her, right, like shot at her. Third action is going to be to use this focus gaze. So she kind of like her eye, she comes out of the smoke and her eyes like finds you, and you find it strangely hypnotic. Can you please make a DC 20 or just a fortitude saving throw? I won't tell you the DC.
Every time you've said focused gaze, I've tried to make a gay agenda joke, but I just cannot pull one out of my ass to save my life tonight.
Yes.
So it is a failure, but you're increasing it to a success. What feature is that? You got some feature there working to help you.
That feature is you use something with the incapacitation trait, and Refi
Oh, this is
a
the
higher level.
incapacitation trait.
Yeah.
Good call. It does have the incapacitation trait. And since she's lower level than you, you get one level higher than it would normally be. So your failure turns to success, and the focus
Yeah,
gaze
of course, I knew that.
focus
Yeah,
gaze did not affect you, and that's all three of her actions. Anita.
Nice. All right. From my position at up here in the vents, I'm gonna drop my smoke stick right here in the middle.
There you go, 10-foot smokestack. So she tries to focus gaze on you and then comes up.
Not my friend. And then second action, overdrive.
Okay.
When did you become a circus expert? This is an extinction curse.
Ooh, natural one.
Oh,
is
that's a
critical
natural one. I'm gonna use a hero point for that because might as well.
All right,
Oh, there you
critical,
go,
critical
critical
failure into a
success.
critical success. You and Wybert get the critical overdrive.
Yes, and then I'm gonna use one action to give Wybert 2. So for his first action, he's going to what's my baby's movement speed again? 40. Kill. Oh no.
You can move through the table. It's just difficult terrain to do so. So it might be faster. I don't know. That'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to get to her. Yeah, you could get there. You have a fast speed, right?
Yeah. 40.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can scurry right over the top of that table.
Glug glug glug. glug.
They don't seem to have any sort of opportunity attack, so you're good.
All right, perfect. And then for Wybert's second action, he'll try and smash her.
Okay, let's start with the DC 5 flat check.
Wow, I thought that's what Anita wanted to do. Smash her.
Anita
Oh.
and Wybert are one. If Wybert smashes, Anita smashes.
Yes. Yes.
A flat check passes. No worries.
All right.
She is flat-footed due to the flanking as well as Hal's like opportunity attacks. Super flat-footed.
Come on, Wybert. All of the chances. Perfect.
That's a hit.
Whee!
Nice.
27 points of everything damage.
27 points of everything down. She looks pretty badly injured.
Oh, already. Shit. And then, okay. Smoke stick, overdrive. Okay, that's it for my turn.
We're coming up on these creatures, which I will refer to as glass sentries. Now, they're not quite clockworks or anything, but they are elemental adjacent creatures that are purely made out of glass. So they spring into action. They were a little slow, but they do spring into action. So this one sort of like spins onto Saruk.
I heard my character's name, and it was definitely not just chatting in Twitch and ignoring the game at large. What?
No, I saw that like somebody popped into our chat and then recognized you. So that was so this sentry stands up and with like this like glass fist just tries to like punch Saruk in the face.
Rude.
A 20 is going to be a miss. It's just going to do 3 attacks. Second attack, 30. That is a hit.
That'll do.
18 points of slashing damage from the jagged bits of glass.
Yeesh.
And it's not very smart, so it's just going to do a third and fail. I think these two will... I'll have this one shift down here and flank with her onto Refi. So first attack, DC 5 flat check. Yeah, it still needs to make the check. So it passes the flat check. First strike onto Refi
Nice.
is a miss. Second strike is passes the flat check. Melee strike, critical miss, natural 1.
Nice.
This one here comes around the table and targets Wybert, who just smashed into her. Second action is to strike. 29 hits Wybert
Hits.
for 21 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Third action is another hit for 19 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then the last one that hasn't gone yet. No, it's just gonna wail on Wybert. Strike, first action, miss. Second action, miss.
Woo!
Third
Go,
action,
Wybert.
miss. So the glass shards are just blasting off the side of Wybert's heavy, like armored body, and none of them really do anything. Bringing us to the top of round 2 and Hal's turn. Still obscured here in the smoke.
I think I'm going to sneak over.
You can make that stealth check if you're sneaking without being noticed, for sure. Go ahead and make the stealth check. Not aware, she'll be completely unaware of you.
33.
33. Okay. I mean, she's unaware of you.
I'll make a snagging strike.
Okay. Let me add this to you really quick. Undetected, which you are.
Where did Halbert go?
Yeah, you're good.
I'll make a flat check.
Yep. Go ahead. Actually, yeah, yep. Flat check passes. No worries. Light her up. Oh my god, a natural 1 is going to be a critical miss.
Anybody got a hero point?
Anyone in chat got a hero point?
I'll make another attack. Damn, I knew I should have done that. Well, D20.
Yeah, second one will
Flat
hit.
check.
Yeah, you're not technically undetected anymore. The flat check passes. Concealment still makes flat-footed.
Pride cometh.
That sucked.
That did kind of suck. And at the end of your turn, she's going to use one of her reactions, which is biting snake. So as you end your turn within reach of her snakes, one of her snake heads lashes out and tries to strike you. So I'll make the flat check, which fails, and the snake goes off into the into the smoke and misses.
First action, I'll do reloading strike. You know what? No. First action, I'll go into wolf stance.
Oh, wolf stance it is.
Just waiting on the.
Where's that wolf howl?
I can almost
Yeah,
hear
where's
it
the
now. Good enough. We'll take
Oh.
it.
And,
Nina's voice acting work as a soundboard. It's really taking off.
every voice for Anita sounds like a sheep. But so first action, I'll go into wolf stance. Go level to the ground. My free hand now looks like a fang, and I will now do reloading strike for my second action.
Okay.
Do the flat check.
Flat check passes.
All right.
24 is a miss.
Second action, I will do follow-up strike. Third action, follow-up strike. So melee, same map.
Ooh.
Yes! Oh
Good.
my Lanta!
That's a natural 20.
Crits.
Oh,
Nice.
is that max
Nine.
damage? That or no? Is it?
It was all 9s. It wasn't quite
776 on a D12.
Oh yeah, 776.
Math is hard. That was max damage. Let him have it.
The dice are hard to read, but
Yeah, so as you like lash out, your wolf strike just like pierces right behind her in your hand, I guess, just pierces right through her and kills the Medusa right in your hands.
And they
Nice.
said Yamcha was bad.
that's my turn. Thank you.
She must succeed in a fortitude saving throw. Yeah, she doesn't need to. She's definitely slowed for the rest of her pathetic life.
She slowed 99.
Saruk.
Okay,
Yeah, slowed
well,
99.
that changes my turn in a very big way. Reckon I will. Let's devise a stratagem against this in here.
Okay.
Must grab gun.
This one here that's through the smoke, right? So this one
Yeah.
is kind of concealed through the smoke at least.
Gotta love that cat's eye elixir. I'm gonna stop rolling
cat's
the
eye elixir.
barricade buster. I'm gonna roll something else because it's just eating ammo that I'm definitely not using.
A 2 on the dice, gonna be a total of 23.
Okay, so that sucks. Is this whole combat just wind up? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, so action the second. Cirque is going to go into the smoke to here to get everyone in reaction range at least. And then third action, I should probably like draw a weapon or something. That feels like a good thing to do. Let's you know what? It's important. For my third action, I draw the backpack ballista and then pass.
The backpack ballista.
Just
Awesome.
presses a button on back. Out comes the Mandalorian ass cannon.
Backpack ballista locked and loaded. Anita.
All right, first action, I'm going to tell Wyvern that we're gonna lock on this clockwork here.
Okay.
So, and then I'm gonna give him 3 actions. So that's gonna give him like a +3 mommy bonus
+3 mommy bonus. Awesome.
for his attack. So Wyvern smash. Wyvern smash +3.
I'm
Oh,
just
I
trying to
didn't-
say nothing at all about mommy bonus. But it's,
Mama bonus.
That is a
Mama.
Mama.
thanks to all the bonuses.
Just
The circumstance
killed him.
bonus was right over the top.
Kill the clockwork.
Critical hit.
is
Come
that
on.
max damage?
54
Oh my
points.
god,
of everything
54
damage.
points of damage. So 54 points of it's electricity and bludgeoning, right?
No, it's
Mhm.
everything damage. Whatever this.
44 bludgeoning and 10 electricity. So just apply this damage real quick because it resists 5 on the
Mhm.
electricity you're dealing.
Okay, so no. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so you hit and like the electricity seems to dissipate a bit on the solid glass creature, so it resists
Mhm.
5 on that part, but that's it.
Okay,
Takes 49 points.
got it. He's gonna
And
take,
it like splinters at the side from like a huge crack.
and then he's gonna take another. He's gonna take a map attack.
Okay.
With a mommy bonus.
Ooh, unfortunately, the mommy bonus didn't help this time.
And then another map attack.
All right. You can always roll another natural 20, right?
It's true.
That's true.
See, just like this. Merry Chrysler. Come on, Chrysler.
Huzzah!
Damn it, Chrysler.
No.
Not quite. Just a miss.
Okay. That's it for our turn.
The Sand Sentries get to take their turns. We'll start back here with this one, who will like basically target Reficule. First strike.
Does he need to make a DC 5?
He does, yeah.
He doth.
DC 5 flat check.
Ah, it's almost at the 4.
First strike misses.
Yeah.
Second strike, DC 5 flat check. passes. We'll have a map penalty. Ooh, this one might actually connect.
So that's
30 is enough to connect.
who at who, if you wouldn't mind.
Refi's getting attacked by this one down here.
It's
17 points of slashing damage.
just out of reaction range. Damn it.
That's fine.
You have to target the creature attacking, not the
Both targets, both
both.
in this case, Rafi and the glassy boy would have to be within 15 feet of me.
Okay. And then for his third and final action, he steps away from Refi. This one here will target Wybert with his strike. First strike. 29 hits
So that'll be my
Wybert.
reaction about
for 23 minus like
12.
12 or
And
so. Yeah.
Wybert may step if they would like.
Okay. I think Wybert's gonna stay. Plus 12.
Gonna strike. Misses.
Plus
And then
12.
third strike, it steps back away from Wybert and like sort of steps back and then gets the like jagged dagger up and ready to go. I think this one is going to spin his focus onto Hal and attack into the smoke as it senses you with its tremor sense. Flat check passes. Melee strike. Misses. Flat check. Passes. Melee strike. Misses, and then it too will stride away, which can incur an opportunity attack if you'd like to take it. That is a miss.
Is it still flat-footed?
Would it be flat-footed?
I don't know. The last one was. Oh, when he was between me and Saruk.
I think, yeah, I think that was because it was Saruk. Yeah, not here. He's not. But you're actually targeting the wrong creature. You're not targeting him. You're targeting boss. So actually, a 26 does hit, but I do need the flat check.
Yep.
For attacking through the smoke. Yep, no worries. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
22.
22 points of slashing damage. As you slash across the glass, you feel like it like resists some of that slash. And then the last one,
It's flat-footed until the start of my turn.
it is, yeah. This one will come up here behind Saruk, target Saruk with the fifth strike. Oh boy, that's a natural
No.
20. Oh, it needs to do the flat check.
It does.
Oh,
He died as he lived.
fuck.
Up to 5, that's what I needed. So it's a critical hit onto Saruk, which is going to deal 34 points of slashing damage. But as it's like glass shards like stabs into like your face, it kind of splinters and it makes like a cloud of like bits of glass that go into your eyes, and you are now blinded.
What?
Rude. Man, I should have taken blind fight.
Your turn now.
How will move up to that creature that just take a do I want to do no, I'll take a snagging strike. Yeah, I can snagging strike twice.
It's sort of limping along, flat-footed to you. That is a critical hit. 37.
42.
42 points of damage. It resists some of it, but it doesn't matter. You just like carve through it so hard, you split it in half, and then it crumbles into like a pile of like sand, glass as it's dead.
And then I would like to do a snagging strike on this creature next to Saruk.
Okay.
Flat check.
Yep, flat check. Flat check
Nice.
passes.
Map 5. Cha.
Hit, but not a crit.
Nice.
23 damage. And
Yep.
it is flat.
Resist 5, and it's now snagged and flat-footed. Ruffy.
I feel like they've got that one in hand.
More like in Kopesh, but I hear you.
Wait, that one's flat-footed? I
I don't
have,
know
Being
how it's
unprofessional.
snagging. Yeah.
they have cover from, let's say, here.
I mean, through Anita and Hal, it would be the +1 circumstance bonus to AC. Yeah, they are flat-footed, so.
That would negate it. All right, then I will just do this. I'm gonna do Drifter's Juke just because I want to.
That's the best reason to do anything in this game.
So I'm going to step here, and then I'm gonna shoot this guy in the face.
Go for it. Just straight up attack, no flat-footed or anything. You make a deception check. 38 is a crit.
That's 46 points of damage. And I need a DC 29 Fortitude save, please.
Yes, you do. This is piercing, but it's also the system's kind of messing up here because like the damage is sort of concussive. It actually can be bludgeoning, so it should take 5 extra and not resist any of that. So
Nice.
damage. Now it makes a Fortitude saving throw. Oh my god, it was almost a natural one. Success, so it's not stunned.
All right, but it is flat-footed to my next melee strike, which is going to happen right now because I'm then going to step. And then for the last part of Drifter's Zook, I do another strike. So I will strike at map.
Bring it on.
Ah,
That's a miss.
I will use follow-up strike.
Okay.
Drifter's Zook is 2 actions, so for my third action, I'll use follow-up strike at the same map.
26 is a hit.
All right.
Nice.
Or 19 points of damage.
20 points. It resists 5 of that, and it's knocked prone thanks to the wolf attack, right?
No, I didn't do Wolf Drag. That costs 2 actions.
Oh, that's something separate. Okay, I just saw it in there, but that's a separate thing. Okay, awesome.
And that's my turn. It's no longer flat-footed.
Saruk, you are. While we're waiting for Tommy to come back, why don't you take your turn, Anita?
All right, so I'm gonna use one action to tell Wybert to lock on to this creature that's very close to Reffy. So, and then I'll give Wybert, and then I'll use 2 actions to give Wybert 3. So that would give him like a +3 mommy bonus.
Okay.
And Wybert smash MB. How's that?
Mama bonus.
Let's go, Wyvern.
Yes, let's go, Wybert, my baby.
That's a critical hit. With a 39.
64 points of everything. 15, 30.
It resists some of the electricity damage,
30
but it
plus
doesn't matter.
13.
The force of the concussive blast is enough to completely shatter, and it crumbles in on itself into a pile of glass dust.
Sweet. And then Wybert's gonna turn into this unharmed clockwork and then take a map attack against them. Also with the mommy bonus. Come on, huzzah! Let's go, baby. It's a miss.
That one is a miss, unfortunately. You are blinded, but you have the ability to take your turn.
I do. Is it reasonable to assume the Glassy gang are making enough noise that I can determine where they are without the use of my eyes?
Yeah, so everyone here that's not actively undetected to you can just kind of get senses of where they're making sound. So
They're hidden to me? Question mark.
they're hidden but not undetected or anything. Yes.
Tight. So I drank a cat's eye elixir to get around the smokestick. Turns out I'll use that to slightly mitigate the blinded. It reduces the flat check from 11 to 5, and that's hilarious to me. Okay, so as I have said so many times, here beeth one more. Untap, upkeep, fuck wizards, devise a stratagem. It's important to get that other bit in. I believe in the power of me. 34. I will take it.
34 total.
So that's going at the flat-footed guy directly in front of me. Would have
Okay,
34 hit him. Oh, shit. Shit.
Think.
Think. Hope I'm right.
I'm right.
I hate that so much.
34 will be a crit.
And then the flat check is a 16.
And the flat check passes. That's a critical hit.
So going at this man's with a critical hit with my don't call it a Mandalorian cannon, because then Disney will sue recall knowledge. I'm just coming for all the corporations today. 46 points of damage. In addition, the ballista bolt is now stuck into the wall and their center of mass, I guess.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a-
Boom. Like,
Not
I think
knowing
the
what
ballista
they
goes
are.
through the glass and like through the wall of this thing, and it's pinned. And on the outside of the boat, you can just see like the ballista like hanging out, like shooting wooded to the next guy. Yeah, that's amazing.
So my 1E brain is yelling a lot of things at me right now. Some of that is precision damage, and I don't know how that interacts in this case. But
Yeah, in this case, they are not immune to precision damage. They take the full precision damage, actually.
wild. Take that, first edition
Yeah.
elementals. Then I guess for my third action, I'm just gonna. This thing's made of glass. It's gonna cut me. I hate everything. I'm gonna punch it with my teeth. I haven't said
Do
that
it.
in a while. I mean, just turn off devise a stratagem real quick. Plus, there we go. Hockey dokie. So that's on. It's using my strength. So theoretically, a 30 to hit versus they're flat-footed.
Yeah, that's a hit. Not a crit, but it is a hit.
The dice agree. Hockey dokes. So I guess just thrashing forward. They take 11 more damage on top.
They do resist 5 of that, unfortunately, so they take 6.
That is my turn.
All right, and at the end of that turn, the blindness wears off as the sand sort of the glass bits fade from your eyes.
I'm assuming that guy is just flat-footed for lots of different reasons, right?
Held by Hal, pinned to the wall. It's actually technically immobilized right now.
hmm
Right. So you don't really need to give your thing then.
Richard, I appreciate you so goddamn much. I'm going to, though, because by the power of our brain cells combined, they are flat-footed to... Who doesn't know? Anita, I guess.
Wee!
So, question to you guys. It's obvious to me that you have this fight in hand and you're gonna crush them. Do you want to go through the motions of just doing another round of combat and defeating them, or should we just hand wave it and fast forward and say that? I leave it to you players. It is late.
Jump cut to a bunch of dead whatever these things are on the ground.
I do want to retcon one small thing, which is to say when Refi like sort of killed the Medusa right through her like heart and had that killing blow. When that happened, there was a kind of like blast of magical energy that's almost imperceptible to everyone. But in the rewinding camera, we sort of see as she's destroyed, the sort of like glassy effect emanates out for her and like covers everyone in the room, which would be everyone except for Anita. So Refi and Saruk and Hal, you guys have been exposed to a weird sort of wild magic effect, which is to say that you now qualify for a new feat that you can only get by killing this
Ooh.
character. It is a feat called Glass Skin.
Ooh.
You were on the money with that, Tommy, is that she's a Medusa that turns people into glass, not into stone. So you have the ability to like cast stone skin on yourself with that feat, only it's glass
cool.
instead. It's like her sort of glassness can now infused into your life force just from destroying her. Now, if you really like this, feel free to switch out your level 10 beat, but it is a sort of story beat that affects your characters, and if you were to continue the forward, it's a cool moment and you could be infused with the Medusa's magic.
Wow, violence really did pay off. Fuck Majagua. Hail Yogg-Sothoth.
Kalima.
Also, if one of you would like to loot her body, she does have her clockwork key on her, so make sure when you guys pull it off her body, you
You'll
should be
be
able
on
to loot her body. I
Wybert's
think.
butt.
I leave all the looting to Anita.
And the ass of her construct.
That brings us to the end of tonight's episode with the clockwork key in hand, the Medusa taken down, and the glass sentries shattered. You know, I love getting a chance for you guys to just like show what you can do and just beat the shit out of people. Even a Medusa. You know, Pathfinder's fun when the enemies are lower level than you and you can just like crit left and right. So much damage.
Yeah, Pathfinder's great when we're not constantly being pushed up to the edge by time dogs, snakes, and our
I
bad
know.
decisions.
Yeah, the singular
Wow.
high level creatures. Yeah, that makes it hard. This was just like a stomp fest for you guys, just like standing around, just kicking Medusa in the face.
I really wasn't expecting that. Maybe because of the critical courts for reals, though. But I just, in my head, it's like all of these fights are going to be really, really hard. This is going to go south. And then I felt super vindicated having a lot of answers for the thing. But then we just came down here. It's just like bang, 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 bang. Which is also dope.
It all worked out. The smokestacks stopped you guys from making a lot of the checks. The incapacitation trait helped Refi not turn to glass. And we lived to fight another day.
Woo!
But we're already past time. I know we started late. We went a little late. That's going to do it for us this week in Alkenstar. Big thanks, Nina, Richard, Ricardo, Tommy. Thanks for playing with me like usual and staying late and stomping some glass things. But before we go, we have to give one really big shout out. And that shout out is to all of our Patreons who make a lot of what we do possible.
Very
and support us.
importante.
Yeah, they support us here on the show and stuff. So their names are scrolling. When it starts from the beginning, I will read it. But check us out at patreon.com/knowledge. You get access to these episodes early before they hit YouTube. You get access to some of the special secret chats on our Discord, as well as premium content like maps you can use in your own campaign for Alkenstar, or custom maps made by Rick. Just request them. So big thank you to David Sims, Ace, Sandra Wagner, Jason Irvin, Sam Skaggs, Jay, Ellie Boyle, Paul G, Anish Herman, J. Michael Spencer, David Morrison, Jerome Rochetti, Philip Kuhn, John Kahi, Mike Butcht, Vlad Scooby, and Wizard Skills, who's the newest patron. I never heard back on how to pronounce the name, so if you don't correct me, I'm not going to butcher it as bad as I did last time, but I forgot
started
there was
talking,
a name.
I was just like, how's he going to say it today?
I forgot there was a name I didn't know how to say until I scrolled up. You guys all remembered. I didn't.
Me too. I was waiting for it.
It was a little better than last time, I'll have to say.
How did you say it? Last time was better. How?
I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to insult our patrons. They're all amazing. They support us in making our content.
If you
And
want to see the clip.
And if you want me to butcher your name, just go subscribe and I'll butcher it next week as well. Tommy, what you got going on?
Yeah.
Good stuff. You got a new campaign you're starting up, I heard.
I do? Do I? Oh, no, yeah, I just got mad at the Supreme Court. I was like, fuck this. Let's play Hell's Rebels. I want to punch Nazis, and a buddy of mine is going to run it. I get to be a player and win. Also, hi, Justin. Haven't talked to you in a billion fucking years, and it is the smallest world in the forever. Let me just, if you're not already in the server, I saw you were, Justin, but if you aren't, the cast of Recall Knowledge, people who watch and have seen this every week, or on and on and on and on and on. Here, Ams, that's my, where the hell did I'm awake. Things are working. There's a link to where you can find all of my stuff. I was in Colorado Springs all like last week, basically, and I'm just like getting back and like getting all of the paperwork done. But I do a lot of things. I run professional games on the internet in basically every edition Pies has made, and then some. There's too much first edition, second edition Starfinder content on my YouTube channel. I am slowly expanding farther into the third party space. I wear a lot of hats, is what I do. But most of them do those things.
Nice.
And if you support me on Patreon, I too will horribly mispronounce your name in front of tons of people on the internet for all of time.
For all of time. Oh my god, why don't I know how to say people's names?
Maybe if we Google it.
We tried last week.
It's a very unique name.
How to pronounce? Not really yet. I'm not prepping for my Friday game. BUETCH? Is that right? While
Tommy's looking that up, big shout out to our sponsor for the night, Molten Hosting, who provides our server hosting, makes it really easy. Use that referral code Recall Knowledge.
It's just one word, y'all.
And you can get your entire first month of hosting for free. That's valid for any tier of service you'd like to do. Tommy, what you got? What's the internet?
So if it's spelled BUETSCH, the first result Google points to is how to pronounce LinkedIn. So thanks, Mr. LinkedIn, for making all of our dreams.
Google doesn't know. It's not my fault. I can't be held responsible if Google doesn't know.
Yeah, Google can be a real biatch sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how it was. It's the reason Google doesn't know is because Google can no longer access Twitter anymore. It all circles back to Elon Musk and that inevitable cage fight where billionaires will kill each other for sport. Man, that's the best timeline. Please.
That would actually be a good timeline.
I see Steve's out here watching Spider-Man on Twitter, and I just
somebody posted the entire Spider-Man Far From Home on Twitter, so I definitely used up their bandwidth watching that. So I did my part.
Good for you.
Our plans is to be back next Wednesday, July 12th at 7:00 as we find what bomb this key goes to and potentially disable it. Actually, between now and next week, I'll be 1 year older.
Ooh.
I have a birthday coming up this week.
Nice.
So I don't know.
Happy
That doesn't mean anything. It's a really lame year. That being said,
What year is it?
If my birthday was an answer, it would be the answer to the like life, everything, and the question of the whole universe.
Oh, wild. Fair
Steve's
enough.
still in the calendar. That's how old he is.
It's the answer to life, everything. What is
21?
oh,
Wow. Holy shit.
Right?
Look at you go.
What is the meaning of life?
It's the answer to life, the universe, and everything. That's how old I'm going to be next week. So that being said, come check us out. Come watch us blow up more stuff in ships. And yeah, we're going to see you guys next week. We gotta dance out.
We always have a
Steve,
dance.
you look so good for 80.
You did it.
For 80. Wow, 80. I'll take
I
it.
know,
If I looked like this
like
at 80, then I won the jackpot. That being said, until next week, everyone, please stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time around. Bye, everyone.
There it is.
Good night.
Oh, a nice mellow one.